Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most legendary and dangerous supercars ever built, the Porsche Carrera GT. This machine has become a symbol of raw performance, pure engineering, and unfiltered driving passion. No traction control, no fancy electronics, just you, the car, and a monstrous V10 engine screaming behind your back. In this video, we will explore the fascinating history of the Carrera GT, its development, design, performance, controversies, and lasting legacy. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride through the story of one of Porsche's most iconic creations. The story of the Carrera GT begins not on the road, but on the racetrack. In the late 1990s, Porsche was heavily invested in motorsport, developing prototypes for endurance racing. One of these projects was the Porsche LMP2000, which was intended to compete in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. At the heart of this prototype sat a 5.5-liter V10 engine, originally developed for Formula One. When Porsche canceled the project due to budget cuts and shifting priorities, this powerful engine was left without a home. Rather than waste the engineering effort, Porsche's team decided to adapt it for a road-going supercar. That decision would eventually give birth to the Carrera GT. By 2000, Porsche revealed a concept of the Carrera GT at the Paris Motor Show. The reaction was overwhelming. The sleek, aggressive car captured the imagination of enthusiasts and critics alike. Porsche realized they had something truly special on their hands, and by 2004, the production version of the Carrera GT was ready. Unlike many other concept cars that lose their soul on the way to production, the Carrera GT stayed remarkably true to its prototype form. It was exotic, low-slung, and menacing, a machine built for purists who valued driving skill over electronic assistance. One of the standout features of the Carrera GT is, of course, its engine. The production car featured a 5.7-liter naturally aspirated V10 producing 612 horsepower. What made it truly special wasn't just the power, but the way it delivered it, with a ferocious, high-revving character that felt more like a race car than a street machine. The sound was unlike anything else on the road, an ear-piercing wail that still sends shivers down the spine of anyone lucky enough to hear it in person. Paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, the Carrera GT demanded absolute precision from its driver. This was not a car you could be lazy with. Every input mattered. Speaking of precision, the Carrera GT's chassis was a masterpiece of engineering. Porsche used a carbon fiber monocoque and subframe, materials more commonly seen in Formula One than in road cars at the time. This made the car extremely light for its class, weighing just around 1,380 kilograms, 3,042 pounds. The suspension was derived from racing with pushrod-operated inboard dampers. Even the clutch was a marvel of design, a tiny carbon ceramic unit called the PCCC, or Porsche Ceramic Composite Clutch, designed to handle the immense power while keeping weight low. However, this clutch was also notoriously difficult to use, adding to the car's reputation as a machine that only skilled drivers could truly master. But the Carrera GT wasn't just about engineering, it was also about emotion. The design, created by Porsche's Harm Lagai and his team, was both elegant and aggressive. With its sweeping lines, sculpted side intakes, and large rear wing, the Carrera GT looked like nothing else on the road. Inside, the car was minimalistic but luxurious, with leather, carbon fiber, and aluminum creating a cockpit that felt both functional and exclusive. Unlike modern hypercars filled with screens and electronics, the Carrera GT's interior was refreshingly simple. Everything was focused on the driving experience. When it came to performance, the Carrera GT was an absolute monster. It could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds and had a top speed of around 208 miles per hour, 335 kilometers per hour. But raw numbers only told part of the story. What made the Carrera GT truly unique was the way it delivered that performance. With no traction control, no stability control, and no electronic safety nets, the car demanded total respect. Drivers often described it as exhilarating, but also terrifying, a car that could bite back if you weren't fully in control. This rawness earned it both admiration and fear, as the Carrera GT quickly developed a reputation as one of the most dangerous supercars ever built. Of course, with such a reputation, the Carrera GT also became surrounded by controversy. Most notably, in 2013, actor Paul Walker and his friend Roger Rodas tragically lost their lives in a Carrera GT crash in California. The accident shocked the world and cemented the car's reputation as a difficult, even deadly machine. While investigations showed that speed and conditions played a major role, the Carrera GT's unforgiving nature became a central part of its legacy. Many people began to view it as the ultimate example of a car that separates skilled drivers from amateurs. Yet, despite the dangers, the Carrera GT has only grown in status over the years. Collectors and enthusiasts see it as one of the last true analog hypercars built in an era before hybrid systems and driver aids took over. Its rarity also plays a role. Porsche built just 1,270 units between 2004 and 2006. Each one was hand-assembled in Leipzig, Germany, and each one carried a price tag of around $450,000 when new. Today, prices for a well-kept Carrera GT often exceed $1.5 million, with some examples selling for even more at auctions. This appreciation shows just how much the world values the purity of this machine. When comparing the Carrera GT to its contemporaries, like the Ferrari Enzo, Mercedes SL or McLaren, and Pagani Zonda, it becomes clear why it holds such a special place in history. While those cars each had their strengths, none delivered the same raw, unfiltered experience as the Porsche. The Enzo had F1 technology and Ferrari prestige, the SLR had comfort and usability, and the Zonda had wild styling and exclusivity. But the Carrera GT stood apart as the most demanding, the most connected, and perhaps the most rewarding of them all. Beyond the numbers, beyond the controversies, the Carrera GT is remembered as a car that defined an era. It represents the last gasp of an old philosophy that the driver should be in full control with no safety nets. In today's world of electric hypercars, advanced aerodynamics, and countless driving assists, the Carrera GT feels like a time capsule from a wilder, more dangerous age. For many enthusiasts, that's exactly why it's so beloved. It's not just a car, it's a test of courage, skill, and passion. So, what do you think about the Porsche Carrera GT? Is it the greatest analog supercar ever built, or is it too dangerous for its own good? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the Carrera GT, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our future automotive stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.